You could double your income tomorrow and still feel broke within 30 days. Not because you don't make enough money, but because your brain quietly resets what enough means. And the worst part, you won't even notice it happening. In the next few minutes, you're going to understand something most people never figure out. Why earning more money doesn't make you feel richer. The hidden psychological loop that keeps you chasing just a little more, and how to break it before it controls your entire life. Because once you see this clearly, you stop chasing money and start building something far more valuable: freedom. Let's start with something simple. Imagine this. You just got a raise. Not a small one, a big one. Your bank balance looks better than ever. You feel proud, relieved, maybe even powerful. For a few days, life feels different, like things are finally working, like you're moving forward. And then, something strange happens. You go out with friends. One of them mentions their new apartment, bigger than yours. Another talks about a vacation you can't afford yet. You smile, you nod. But something shifts. Later that night, you're scrolling through social media. New cars, better lifestyles, perfect moments, people who seem ahead. And suddenly, that raise you were so proud of doesn't feel like progress anymore. It feels average, maybe even behind. And you don't fully understand why. This is the first trap. Your brain doesn't measure wealth in absolute numbers. It measures it in comparison. And comparison has no finish line. You don't feel rich when you have more. You feel rich when you have more than the people around you. That means the moment your environment changes, your definition of enough changes too. This is why someone making $50,000 can feel stable, while someone making $200,000 feels behind. Same world, different reference point. And the dangerous part? Your brain adapts fast. What once felt like success becomes normal. What once felt like luxury becomes expected. And once something becomes expected, it stops making you feel rich. Let me ask you something honestly. When was the last time you said, "I have enough"? Almost enough. Just a little more. Actually, enough. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most of your spending isn't about survival. It's not even about comfort. It's about identity. Think about it. The phone you use, the clothes you wear, the places you go. How much of it is truly for you, and how much of it is for how it looks? Because deep down, we don't just want to live a good life. We want to be seen living a good life. Think about the last thing you bought that you didn't really need. Before you bought it, your brain probably told you, "I deserve this. This will make me feel better. This will make me look successful." That's not logic. That's emotion trying to solve a deeper problem. You're not buying the product. You're buying the feeling you think it will give you. Picture this. You walk into a store. 2 jackets. One costs $60. The other costs $220. You try both on. They feel almost identical. Same warmth, same fit. But the expensive one feels different. It feels like confidence, status, upgrade. So you buy it. Not because it's better, but because of what it represents. Now extend that idea. It's not just jackets. It's phones, cars, apartments, even experiences. You're not just paying for what something is. You're paying for what it says about you. Money didn't change. Your identity did. And once identity gets involved, spending stops being rational. It becomes emotional. And emotional spending has no ceiling because there's always a better version of who you could be chasing. Now here's the loop that traps almost everyone. You feel behind, so you spend to feel ahead. You feel better. Temporarily. Your standard rises, and suddenly, you feel behind again. Then repeat, over and over. This is why more money doesn't fix the problem, because the problem isn't income. It's the loop. And here's what makes this loop dangerous. It doesn't feel like a problem. It feels like progress. It feels like you're improving your life, upgrading, leveling up. But in reality, you're just running faster on the same treadmill. You think, "I just need a little more," but a little more never ends. Because your brain keeps upgrading what more means. And here's the part nobody tells you. This loop doesn't just affect your spending. It slowly reshapes your expectations, your lifestyle, your standards, your entire definition of success. A bigger house becomes normal. A better phone becomes expected. A higher income becomes necessary. And suddenly, the life you once dreamed of feels average. Right now, your brain treats your future self like a completely different person. Not metaphorically. Literally, when you think about your future, your your brain reacts almost the same way as thinking about a stranger, which explains everything. Why saving feels hard, why spending feels easy, why "I'll start later" never happens. Because in your mind, you're sacrificing for someone you don't even know. You're about to spend $200. Your brain says, enjoy it now. But saving that same $200 feels like giving it away, not to yourself, to someone else. And this is where most people lose, not because they're lazy, not because they lack discipline, but because their brain is wired this way. The people who build wealth aren't superhuman. They just think differently. They feel connected to their future. They don't see saving as losing something. They see it as protecting something. They understand something simple. Every dollar you don't control today controls you tomorrow. Now combine everything. Your definition of enough keeps moving. Your spending is driven by identity. Your brain ignores your future. What do you get? A life where no amount of money feels like it's working. You earn more, but feel the same or worse. Think about someone who earns 5 times more than you. Do they feel 5 times freer, 5 times calmer, 5 times happier? Not really, because they're playing the same game, just at a higher level. More income, bigger comparison. Higher pressure, same loop. And this is the illusion. We think money solves the feeling, but in reality, it just upgrades the environment where the feeling exists. Here's the truth most people never realize. You don't actually want more money. You want what you think money will give you. Freedom, control, peace of mind, respect. But instead of building those directly, you chase money hoping it will create them. Sometimes it works, but most of the time, it doesn't. Because freedom isn't just about how much you earn. It's about how much you need. And if your needs keep growing, no amount of money will ever feel like enough. The people who feel rich aren't the ones who earn the most. They're the ones who define what enough means early, stop playing the comparison game, and use money to buy control over their time, not attention, not validation. Time. Time to choose what they do. Time to rest. Time to live without constant pressure. So here's a simple rule that can change everything. Before you spend money, pause and ask yourself, is this buying me freedom or just a feeling? If it's freedom, it's probably worth it. If it's just a feeling, be careful because feelings fade, but financial patterns don't. Try this once. The next time you're about to buy something, wait 24 hours, then ask the question again. You'll be surprised how often the answer changes because most spending isn't need, it's impulse mixed with emotion. And once you start seeing that clearly, you start making different decisions. Not perfect ones, but better ones. So remember, you don't feel rich because your standards keep moving. You overspend because you're chasing identity. You struggle to save because your future feels distant. And you stay stuck because the loop never stops. Until you see it. If this made you rethink how you see money, that's a good sign because awareness is where control begins. But here's the unsettling part. There's a small habit shaping your financial life right now. It happens every day. So normal you don't question it. So invisible you don't even notice it. Yet over time, it quietly decides whether you build wealth or spend your entire life chasing it. It's the moment right before you act, that split second between impulse and decision. Most people never notice it. They just react. Buy, spend, justify. But the few who do notice it, pause, question it, control it. And that tiny difference changes everything. So the next time you're about to spend money, pause just for a second because you're about to see that habit in real time. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And if this perspective shifted the way you think about money even slightly, that's where real change begins. Consider subscribing for more content that helps you understand the hidden patterns shaping your decisions, your behavior, and your life. And if you have a thought or insight while watching this, share it in the comments. I'd be interested to hear your perspective. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.